Hey Club Win Conference, my name is Christian Brindle.
And I'm Stormy Brindle.
We were asked by the one and only Rebecca Davis to put on a little presentation for you guys about a couple of different topics, but mainly what we wanted to talk about was how do you balance building an insurance business, an insurance career, with having a family, with having kids, and also we wanted to talk about how some of the best insurance agents out there are female insurance agents, women insurance agents, in a lot of times something that's perceived as a male-dominated industry, but I think it's really just more myth than anything else. I have Stormy here with me because she's seen a lot over the years. You know, you've seen me from when I started off working with my dad, 0 clients, right? Mm-hmm. Struggling to pass my insurance exam, right? Yeah. And you've kind of seen us be able to grow and seen the company grow and kind of all the growth that's taken place. One thing I thought that the audience might love to kind of hear from you, because a lot of people that maybe follow our content, they probably hear from me too often.
You're a social butterfly.
Well, talk to them a little bit about what it has taken for us to get from where we were to where we are now.
Well, to really start off, it's bare sacrifice. To do something different, I mean, you have to change what you're doing. And with Christian and me, it was really hard. In the beginning, we were doing everything half and half. Half the bills, we both worked, and I'm sure that there's people out there that could let you know that it's a struggle sometimes to build a business and work minimum wage jobs in some areas. Christian was working at a place called Atria. It's an assisted living facility where he helped seniors. Like, he was a server, he did dishes, like it was literally bare minimum work, like $10 to $12 an hour, which doesn't cut it. So it really took a commitment from both of us to make it work for him, to make this work, to make the insurance industry work. And another thing that really needed to be on point is that both of us had to be on the same page. Yeah. And once we got on that page, we really buckled down. I worked 16 hours a day. He would work 12 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday, and then go to the office Monday through Friday. Like, we're talking about eating ramen noodles here. We really buckled down and sacrificed. And I know that there's many other factors that come into play when you want to make something work, but sacrifice and communication were the two biggest things when it came to being a team player and a couple, to build a relationship, to build a business. And yeah, that's really my insight about how I looked at it. So
yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, one thing that I think both of us would tell you guys is a lot of you are married, a lot of you have families, a lot of you have kids. If you were going to get into the business and maybe, you know, you're in the business right now, but you know your spouse might not necessarily be on board. One thing that is incredibly important is that, like Stormy said, you have to be on the same page. I tell people all the time, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have Stormy's love, her support, and her financial support at the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. Because you were helping me pay bills, working at your job at the time. I don't know if I would be here today or what I would be doing if I didn't have your support, both, you know, emotionally, financially, and you know, you were really my biggest cheerleader. Mm-hmm. You know, really encouraging me when I didn't believe in myself, when I had hard days, when I maybe, you know, worked an entire, you know, 14, 15-hour day, and I just was out there just like banging my head against the wall and going nowhere, and you know, I had nothing to show for it at the end of the day. It was you that encouraged me to keep going. I mean, how many times have I said I wanted to quit over the years?
Oh, goodness. Too many times. I mean, he even said it maybe a little bit halfway into his career as well. I remember we moved to Florida and he had to start from the beginning again. That was another thing. If you start in a completely different state with no connections at all, you're basically starting completely over. And he was just having a rough time. And when he brought that up, every single time I'm just like, no, we can't do that. When you invest into something, you have to make it work, especially if you want to progress. Because if you don't progress, you degress and you go back to where you were and then you regret it. So yeah, when he was like that, I would be like, no, you're just having a bad day. It will work out. Everything's fine. And I would always tell him that. I would sometimes go get him food or vanilla chais from Dunkin' Donuts to make him feel better, and then he'd be back at it.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing I can tell you guys, if you walk away from this conference with anything, is if you're not on the same page with your spouse, make sure that you get on the same page with your spouse, because it's so important. It's hard enough when you're just kind of battling the trials and tribulations of a day-to-day struggle of building your business. It's even more difficult if you don't have somebody in your corner. So you have to get on the same page with your spouse. Wouldn't you agree with that?
It's a must. I mean, and it's not always easy with relationships. We've had our situations where he would be on his phone. Like when I say he brings his work home, he brings it home. And I'll be like, Christian, what are you doing? Other than this video, like he would be on his Facebook group, he would be talking to clients, he would be calling leads. I'd be like, are you ever going to spend time with me, Christian? Are you ever going to spend time with me? And he'd be like, yes, just give me a sec. So it does take patience, it does take work, but when you make it work, the business works. That's how I've seen it through the time, and I'm so glad that he stuck through with it, because having a family, you mothers out there, it is not easy. I'm currently getting on my feet as an agent, and it's hard being a mom and trying to work at the same time. So for him to already be in the business, it gives me extra leverage to progress in the business with him. If we would have both started after we had our family, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would be very, very hard.
It would have been a lot more difficult.
Oh, I mean, yes.
I think one thing that you're probably seeing is, you're able to come into the business and we don't have that financial pinch.
Right.
Like money's not an issue for us.
No, and I was really surprised with that, because growing up in a home, I always, in one way or another as a child, I've seen those issues with my mom and my dad, and it's never fun to see that. But being with Christian, when I realized there's no money issues at all because he worked so hard at this, I was like, well, that is interesting. That is weird in a way, because I didn't grow up that way, but I'm very grateful for it,
Yeah.
So
I think that's so vitally important. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to get your insight in on it as well, because you're starting to work with me now, come to the office, work as an agent. You spent some time at the office working this past AEP. Mm-hmm. You're working now, kind of wanting to be out there in the field and selling. That's kind of what you wanted to do. And so one thing that I've told you a couple of times that I wanted to share with this audience, this predominantly female audience that we're talking to, with the Club Win Conference, is a lot of times I've spoken to people over the years that maybe feel like they're at a disadvantage by being a woman in what's perceived to be a very male-dominated industry in the insurance industry. I would go so far as to say that if you take everything in its equal, in a vacuum, women make better insurance agents than men. I think I've told you this before. I think that women naturally are incredibly tough. They're very resilient. I mean, and I think also they're a lot of times they're very, very good at communicating. They're very good at kind of nurturing their clients and putting things at ease and putting concerns at ease. I wanted to share this with you guys today, that if you are doubting yourself, I can tell you this: you are full of a room right now of some of the most successful insurance agents and agency owners in the entire country. I saw the speaking list that Rebecca put together for you guys, and it's the cream of the crop, right? And here's the thing about it: they are all female insurance agents. And And some of them are, I'd say all of them, it's a collection of the best, male or female, right? And I can tell you that some of the best agents that we contract with, some of the best agents that work with my organization and my company are females. I think that you guys have a really great opportunity to do something special. What we wanted to really take some time and encourage you today with was make sure that your family is together. Your family is your rock. Your family is your foundation. And if you are together in this, if you are not fighting against each other, if you're working together, if you're not having to kind of push back against each other or, argue about this or that or this or that, the sky is the limit of what you can accomplish, having that support system. Also, never underestimate your abilities. Make sure that you understand that you are in the best industry, and there's never been a better time to build a business in the insurance industry than there is today. The amount of opportunity is endless. I hope you take the information you learn at Club Win home with you, and you use that information, you put it into play, you take notes, heavy notes, and you essentially integrate what you've learned into your business, and it explodes and blossoms over the next however many months we have the rest of the year, right? Another thing we wanted to talk with you guys about as a sponsor of Club Win, I wanted to support this cause because I think it's such a wonderful thing that Rebecca's doing, putting together this conference for you ladies. We wanted to talk with you about our event that we have coming up in June. It is called the Six-Figure Medicare Agent Summit. And if you enjoyed the Club Win conference, we believe that you would also enjoy the Six-Figure Medicare Agent Summit. It is June 10th and 11th. It is essentially taking place in Salt Lake City, the beautiful, wonderful city of Salt Lake City, here in our hometown in Utah. Stormy's going to be there. Of course, I'm going to be there. Rebecca Davis is speaking at this event, and so it's going to be a fantastic event. It's going to be a blast, and we hope to see all of you there. Just because you attended the conference of Club Win, we want to do something really special for you guys. We want to put something together to where if you attended the conference at Club Win and you don't already have a ticket for the Six-Figure Medicare Agent Summit, if you would do me a favor, and a lot of you are friends with me on Facebook, but shoot me a private message on Facebook. I'm very easy to find, Christian Brindle, and I'm more than willing to give you half off for your ticket. It's normally about a $450 ticket for admission. We only have one ticket price. There's not multiple different types of tickets, but you can get it half off, about $225, just because you attended Club Win. Shoot me a message on Facebook. Let me know that you were at the conference and you heard this message, and we will get you your discounted ticket. I hope to see you there. A little bit about the speakers that we have that are going to be speaking at this event is we have, of course, Rebecca Davis. We have Danielle Kunkel-Roberts, Galen Hendricks, Justin Brock, Justin Thomas, Glenn Shelton, Matthew Murray, Josh Lustig, Tracy Lonesberry, Lester Kahn of Agent Pipeline, Ryan Kimball of Agent Pipeline. If he hasn't been announced by the time this comes out, well, there you go. I just dropped a little bit of information on you guys. There's a total of 18 speakers. We have some of the best in the industry that are going to be speaking. Like I said, a 2-day event. You won't want to miss it. It's nothing but actionable content, and we hope to see you there. Enjoy your time at Club Win. Enjoy your time at this conference. And we just want to see you win. We want to see you be successful. And I hope you guys all have a blast and pick up an incredible amount of life-changing knowledge as a result. All right, guys. Well, we'll talk to you next time. Enjoy the conference, and hope to see you in Salt Lake City.